Now I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back chinchilla ice on with a fitted. Just for y'all, just to say happy Saturday, good morning. It's been a while. It's been a while. I know now. We're going to get into it. I'm going to explain myself. But welcome back. It's your boy Sam with Vertical Expressions. Welcome to another episode of Not Another Christian Podcast. First off, just want to big shout out to the faithful. Big shout out to you individuals who missed the show when you miss it. You see, I'm all rusty. I'm out of practice. Big shout out to Tony's Turn. If you guys don't know about Tony, go check him out. Page is dope. I'll try to leave a link in the description. Big shout out to Swag King Cole. Always there, always present. Another big shout out to Johnny Neptune. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for checking up on me. And for everybody else who just wondered, like, why is my Saturday feeling just a little bit more empty? Feeling just a little bit more lonely? Well, I was trying to give you a room to grow with the Lord. Nah, it's been 4 weeks since my last episode, and it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy. Because guess what I learned? I didn't really learn this now, but I knew it. You know what? Christians struggle too. Since we're family, since we're here, since we get honest on this page, I'll be honest to say that it's been a rough 4 weeks. You know, I ran into a lot of, how do I say this nicely? Ran into a lot of issues. You know, life came at me fast, and as you can see, I don't even have a hoodie on today. It's been that real out here. I don't even have a hoodie on. Life came at me fast. I mean, it felt like every area of my life just out of nowhere. It's just like boom, chaos, boom, chaos. And I'll be honest to say that I'm not even sure I responded the right way. And that's what I want to talk about today, right? Because I don't want to say the premeditated notion, but the idea is that Christians, right? You come to Jesus, you have your Jesus moment, you become a Christian, and then everything is short and sweet. Like, life is just cool, it's chill, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I feel like this camera is staring at me right now. Let me get serious. Let me get back into my flow. A lot of people think that you just, and when I say people, I don't mean everybody. To be honest with you, I feel like mostly Christians think that once you convert and you start being a Christian, you gave your life to Jesus, you start thinking that everything is just like we on the come up. You know what I mean? Like, everything is just downhill from here. And I don't know why, right? Because I noticed that secular people don't really care. Like, and atheists are just like, I don't know what God you're believing in that's supposed to make your life better. You know what I mean? But Christians, like, we start following God, we start following Jesus, and it's like we feel that we feel like this, everything is supposed to be good all the time. And I fell into that booby trap, right? I was definitely there. I was living in my lofty expectations of life, and then life came, smacked me over the head, and I wasn't ready. I was not ready. Knocked me right over. I lost my focus. I lost my direction, and it happens. But I think there's a conversation to be had that besides the fact that I really have nothing else going on in my life other than this. So this is what I'm going to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be real, trying to be transparent. I feel like there's a conversation to be had for us when it comes to struggling as Christians, right? Because it's not so much that I personally, if you can relate, you can relate. I didn't expect this to come up. So when it did come up, it just knocked me off my high horse. But I think the response to the struggle is what made it harder for me, right? Because I was low-key disappointed. I'm going to be honest with you. I was disappointed. Not even low-key. I was disappointed in God. I was like, God, we've been through this. We get it. I'm a faithful servant. Trials and tribulations, like those days are over. I'm a vet. Let me get some vet treatment. Like I'm retired. I'm working towards retirement. You out here giving me all this work to do. And I was upset that God allowed things to happen in my life that I felt like I shouldn't be going through this. I shouldn't be going through this. Why am I going through this? And that was the first part of the frustration. But what happened was that upon beginning this struggle, the Christian struggle, I noticed that my response wasn't so very Christian. Like, I made a lot of decisions off of my emotions. I made a lot of decisions feeding off of like my anger, my disappointment, my frustration, my anxiety. It's like, Christian Sammy who, right? Hey, are you the same Sam that be doing vertical expressions? Like, you do YouTube videos? Like, you teach other Christians? I was looking at myself in the mirror like, bro, who even are you? And so that kind of turned into this snowball. And it was this snowball effect where it's like, how do I even get out of here? And why is all of my momentum like just going downhill? And it feels like the pressure is just getting bigger, and the problems are getting bigger, and I can't find my way out. Christians struggle too, and I want to call this Christian struggles too. Christians struggle too, and am I calling this Christian struggles? I don't even remember. The Christian struggle. My bad. The Christian struggle. I think the Christian struggle is the fact that we get so comfortable in God, and it's not a bad thing. Like, being comfortable in God's presence, being comfortable knowing that God has got you, it's not a bad thing. But I feel like we get so comfortable at times that when it comes down to the moments where everything is not really good looking, sometimes we don't know how to respond to ourselves, right? I felt like I was looking at a different person in the mirror. And because of that, I began to treat myself in a specific way. I was really hard on me. It's like, Sam, you're a Christian, man. You're a leader. You're a teacher. You do so much. Like, you're a role model for so many people. How are you possibly behaving this way? And I noticed that I was pushing myself outside of I was pushing myself towards perfection. I was genuinely disappointed in the way that I had behaved in the face of the struggle. And at first, I thought that the struggle was the fact that something came up and it ruffled my feathers. You know what I mean? Oh, my life isn't perfect. Oh, this is the struggle. Oh. But then I realized that the real struggle was learning to live with the fact that I'm not as good. I don't think good is the word I'm looking for. I'm not as perfect is definitely not the word. I never thought I was perfect, but I'm not as neat. I'm not as tidy. I'm not as well packaged, well built as I thought I was. I saw myself behaving in a way that I'm like, bro, so disappointed in you. And what happened was that my own guilt, my own disappointment in myself pushed me down even further. And that's when I noticed, man, you know what? This is the real Christian struggle, right? And I'm sure that you can feel this sort of disappointment, or you can feel or go through this struggle not being a Christian. Like, I know for a fact that I went through this before, where I'm like, I'm not trying to let down my parents, right? I'm not trying to be a disappointment, but then I mess up. I feel like a disappointment, and in my head I'm having this conversation. I'm just like, oh, you're such a disappointment. You know what I mean? And it's just like, not living up to your own expectation, not living up to the expectation that you hold for yourself, just kind of pushes you further down, further down, and further down. And I wish this were the type of video where I'm like, I know exactly what I'm going to say before I get in front of the camera, before I press record, but it's really not. Like, this video is a mess. This video is a mess, but as part of me getting out of the huge grave that I've dug for myself, I'm trying to get back to the things that I feel like I'm called to do, right? This being one of them. So here, enjoy the video. I know it's a little shaky. I know you might be feeling like, well, maybe I wasted my time on this one. Well, maybe you did, but thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you relate with me when I say that sometimes we really are our own worst enemies. And this is my current Christian struggle. I feel like I failed to live up to and I guess I laughed because I thought about it, but this is the key here. I was gonna say I failed to live up to my Christianity. And that is exactly the problem, because Christianity is nothing more than a religion, right? It is the rules that you must abide by to be qualified to be called this, but that is anti-Bible. That is the opposite of Jesus. That is the opposite of God's grace. That is the opposite of why we are offered the opportunity to be believers, because we can never really gain salvation. Yes, we strive to be like Jesus, but we can't gain or win salvation. It's only through the blood of Christ. So what led me to believe, look at me, I'm getting nervous. What led me to believe that I could ever outwork or outperform my failures? What led me to believe that I can behave this way, X, Y, and Z, follow these steps, follow these rules, and this would be the outcome. The outcome being, oh, you're a Christian, you're a good Christian. What is a good Christian? Other than they started calling Christians because they followed the Christ. So I lost my train of thought completely. If you put your efforts into religion like I did, and I didn't mean to, and that's the scary part, right? I didn't mean to follow religion. I don't believe in religion, but you get so used to the lifestyle that you kind of come to expect it. And when something breaks the routine, when something breaks your comfort zone, when something different happens and you see something that you don't like, it immediately becomes an issue, and it kind of shows itself as a parallel to religion. And I think that may be just another Christian struggle, is the fact that even you following Christ, getting used to the things the way that they are, innocently, can lead to you just building up walls of religion where it's like, well, I know this goes here and that goes there and this looks like this, and if anything changes, well, it's breaking the pattern, it's breaking the system, it's breaking what being a good Christian should be. And it sort of reminds me of Peter. Was it Peter or Paul? Guys, fact check me, correct me in the comment section. I'm pretty sure it was Peter. Could have been Paul. It's pretty early in the morning. Both names start with a P. But we have one or the other. They refuse to eat what they consider impure. And that's just a metaphor for they refuse to share the gospel with individuals whom they consider impure, right? And they do it that way because to them, that's just the way it's always looked. That's the system. It's not that they were religious. They had a very intimate relationship with Jesus and Christ, and I consider them to be far better achieved and performing saints than me. And they knew the difference. The problem was that all that they knew was that the room looks like this goes here, that goes there, that goes there. So when they ran into sharing the gospel with the Gentiles, it was an issue. It was something that they hadn't seen this. It didn't make sense. And so, Jesus speaks, God speaks, and he tears down the walls, and they're like, well, you know what? Well, this is what it looks like. And maybe that's life. Maybe it's just the evolution of like, yeah, you're going to build up your walls, but be open or be ready to have your walls torn down. Whew, sounds good. Like, be ready to have your walls, to have your expectations torn down when it comes to this Christian walk. And you know what? Maybe that is the Christian struggle. I got a lot of Christian struggles. I don't know which one is the Christian struggle, but we got a lot of them. It's just food for thought. Thank you guys for passing by, showing love to the page. Keep the homie in prayer. One for all for one. You guys lift me up. I lift you guys up. We help each other out. It's your boy Sam with Vertical Expressions. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You already know what it is. I'll see you guys next. When you mess up the outro. I'll see you guys on the next episode on another Christian podcast. It's your boy. Peace.